Hello, my name is Adil Khan, and this is a practice pitch for an upcoming event. I am the founder at a project that we refer to as Awake Aerospace, and it is a sister initiative of Awake Healthcare. One project contributes to the overall success of the other project. The team dynamic is as such, as you see on the slides. My background is in IT with mostly systems operations, but for the past 10 years, more on the business development, traditional entrepreneurship activities, project management. Rusit is a recent graduate from Curtin University in Australia, based in Sri Lanka. And with Rusit's expertise in mechanical engineering, he's very passionate about working on moonshots and turning them into functional products, as you will see in the following slides. Our vision is simple, and it is to enable a world of abundance by going to space. What that really translates into is the two areas specific to, it kind of parallels both on the aerospace and healthcare side, but we want to create a Whole Foods for the whole world. Without making Whole Foods look bad, we are open to working with Whole Foods, but we really want to create a structure whereby there's an abundance of quality, nutritious foods. So that's really what I'm going to be talking about. And this is why we have a tough time categorizing whether we're an aerospace company or an agriculture company, because we are both, as you will see in the following slides. Now, the reason why we decided to do that is because this is a big problem on our planet, where 26+% of the population is moderately to severely food insecure. And 1 in 9 people still go hungry on the planet each day. And so quality, nutritious food is not something that is a reality right now, but that is exactly what we want to get to by the year 2030. So our mission is to get to zero hunger by the time frame I mentioned, as well as to focus on setting up an industrial base in space, growing organs in space, making vaccines in space, and eventually manufacturing in space, so that we have all of the industry eventually moving to space, and most of the agricultural activities at that. In terms of what actions we took, we started last January, so it's been a 1 year plus. And during this time, from January till end of September, we worked on various innovations. In random order, we learned how robotic arms work. It didn't work the first couple of times. We learned how rockets work. Rusit, this is all Rusit's work. I just provide him with the opportunity to work on areas of his interest where there's an overlap based on company needs and what Rusit loves working on. And so Rusit started not knowing much about rocketry, and we had a rocket going up in simulation. We were able to hit an altitude of about 3,000 meters, not 300. And then we decided that we got to move on to other things. So, we worked all the way from simple inventions like how to get more fuel into the fuselage, so like a simple innovation like that, to fuel depots. Then we started working on AMUs, which I'll share in a bit, and moving on to other interesting projects. This was our submission to the Deep Space Food Challenge by NASA and CSA. So we then oriented towards working on the main set of innovations. So the first innovation that we worked on is what we refer to as an AMU. It stands for an autonomous manufacturing unit, whereby the facility can make copies of itself, and it can then reorganize itself to make what we want it to make. And so this is going to be 100% remote and semi-autonomous facility. And it is comprised, we envision it's comprised of 3 main components: the transporter for moving stuff between AMUs and other vehicles, and the main unit where all the activity happens, and the ability to be able to provide fuel to the transporter as well as to the main unit. So The first invention that we envision that the AMU itself is going to enable are what we categorize as greenhouses in orbit. So I'm going to let the GIF play on the top left-hand side. This is, I must say, 100% our invention. The only exception being the IPPSM, which you kind of see at the bottom here. And the IPPSM is a design feature that is borrowed from the patents by a company who is known as Planetary Resources. And these patents are in the public domain. I'm just doing a time check. Okay. We anticipated, originally we anticipated that the AMUs will be in a capacity to be able to release or make a lot of greenhouses in orbit, because there's a lot of space in between the planets. In particular, we're focused on Venus because we spent a little bit of time looking at Venus because we were like very interested in terraforming the planet. Well, we dropped that idea. But the most important part in this slide is that these visions can only happen whether it's in orbit or on the lunar subsurface or somewhere else, only the domain is secure. So secure domain and global cooperation is crucial in order to be able to enable a world of abundance for all, at least focusing on the basics, quality, nutritious foods that don't make you, they actually make you healthy, they don't make you sick, like eating too much carbs or too many sugary foods. So just good, wholesome foods. And we see other companies solving the housing problem. So we should be good, at least from those two perspectives by the 2030s. So these are some of the other concepts we worked on developing. We didn't spend as much time here because we spent a little bit of time working on how things are going to work within the AMUs and the orbiting greenhouses. But we started thinking, how are we going to get the ore? How is it going to be fed to the AMUs? So Rusit came up with some preliminary designs for the mining machinery, and this one pumps fluid into the rocks in order to be able to get the smaller rocks out. And this one's a drill, so stuff like that. Like I shared, we worked on the concept for Venus, and this was going to be our milestone 1, whereby we have sequestered the greenhouse gases and the sulfuric acid, somehow figured out how to tame the volcanoes. Well, we stopped working on this idea because we've kind of gone back and forth on the whole phosphine bit, but I think terraforming, enabling structures in between orbits is a better reality in the long run, which goes back to Gerard K. O'Neill's vision. From October till now, we have been more so focused on what Steve Blank has shared, is to focus on talking to customers or potential customers. So that's what we've done or have been doing. And that has brought Artemis to our attention by talking to Mr. Cosmas from Greece. We heard about, we knew about Artemis. I've looked at the mission plan. I've offered some critique as well. I don't think all my points are valid anymore because I have a deeper, comparatively speaking, a much more better appreciation for the project. And the project dates are pushed out a little bit with regards to the plan to land at least the first mission is going to be there in 2025, not 2022, not this year, so 3 years out. So we're going back to the moon to stay as a species. And so we're now setting our eyes on the moon. This is a more recent pivot. I have a minute left. And what we want to do is do something underneath the surface of the moon in order to be able to feed the world and do other good things. So in terms of next step, we're going to be fundraising. So introductions are very welcome. These are some of the next steps we are thinking of taking up, fundraising, setting up an actual physical lab in Ontario, growing our team and bringing Rusit to Canada, and taking our technology to the next TRL level. In terms of partnerships, these are the partnerships we seek with space agencies and also defense agencies, and also private institutions working in the fields of agriculture and cellular agriculture. We are working on a radically transparent model, building the company on top of blockchain. These are the links to our slides. And last but not the least, I'm over time. I wish that you listen to the song by, it's called Do They Know It's Christmas? So we wish to play the song every year, often, but particularly in 2030s. I'm over time. By 2030, there should be no more hungry people on the planet. That is our vision. So I hope you will join us on this journey. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.